Let's go!
Yo guys, welcome to part 3 of my blue Pikmin only win. Last time I ended with saving Olimar, and in this part I'm going to finish the game and save Louis. But before I start, let's go over the rules real quick. No other Pikmin types other than blue might be used. Oatchi can swim, so he's an imposter blue Pikmin. He may only be used if there's no other way to progress the game. And the same goes for the items and the Pebble picture. With that said, let's get into the video. Now that I have saved Olimar, I unlock the Giant's Heart. This is where the post game starts and the enemies are gonna be a bit stronger. When I land, I immediately get introduced to Louis, who kidnaps Yorke. To beat the game and save Louis, I first need to unlock the final map of the game. And to do that, there are 3 requirements. I need to save Yorke from Louis by beating him in a dandori battle. I need to save a total of 20 castaways. And finally, I need to have 13,000 sparklium. The sparklium is not really a problem. I will get it eventually, so I focus on saving Yorke. He's located on the other side of the map, so I start exploring the map and killing the enemies. The enemies are not too big of a problem, but moving my base anywhere requires the use of red Pikmin, so that's very annoying. But eventually I meet Louis. I use a bomb to get on this ledge and immediately hop in for a dandori battle. In this battle there are no blue Pikmin, so it's up to Oatchi again. If you have seen my previous videos, you know about my dandori tactics, like steal and item spam, which are very effective. In this battle however, they introduce a new item to the item pool, the tracker bomb. And with it, I unlock a powerful new dandori tactic, murder. This is an especially great tactic because I can collect items while Oatchi is carrying things to base. The battle isn't super easy because all the hay everywhere that I can't destroy without reds. But then I see a fire slug destroying some hay, allowing me to collect the apple. That slug is an absolute legend, since apples are a triple points bonus find. I try and collect the golden sniffer, but then I see that Louis is carrying a sneak bomb towards my base. Olimar had never done that before, so I wasn't expecting it, but I managed to stop it in time and collect the golden sniffer. Then I collected a triple points apple worth 36 points and it basically seals the game. I think I got quite lucky, that slug really saved me, but I managed to beat Louis on my first try. I bring Yorke all the way to the other side of the map and I complete my first goal. The next goal is to rescue 20 castaways. I've already rescued 16, so only 4 more to go. I start by checking the caves in the Giant Heart. I reach the ultimate testing range, but unfortunately on the second sub-level there's a ledge that is too high for a bomb boost. This means I can't rescue a castaway in this cave. The other cave is the Dream House. It only has 1 sub-level, but the boss that contains the castaway is only reachable by jumping on these mushrooms. So fortunately I again leave without a castaway, but I did manage to get 13,000 sparklium. There are no other caves in the Giant Heart, so I end the day and go to the hero's hideaway. Last time I was here, I only collected some cards and fought Olimar, so there's still a lot to explore. The first cave I head to is the Double Ganger's Den. In this cave, all the holes to the other sub-levels are easily accessible. On the final floor, there's a boss fight with this guy. He's not too difficult of a boss fight and eventually I take him down. I break these pots with a bomb and collect another castaway. Only 3 more to go. The other cave in Hero's Hideaway can be reached without Oatchi, with a tactical jump from this plank. And I now arrive at the Plunder Palace, the infamous breadbook cave. Very unfortunately, I can't bomb boost on top of this ledge, so I can't go to the final sub-level and kill the breadbugs. And because of that, I can't save another castaway here. There's 1 more cave in Hero's Hideaway, the Frozen Inferno, but it can only be accessed with red Pikmin, and there's a lot of hay that can only be destroyed with red Pikmin, so there's no way to progress, and I can't save a castaway here. Next up, I head to the Serene Shores. I found out in the last part that I unfortunately can't progress in the Underground Disco, so I head to the Sub-Zero Sauna, where I gave up last time. This time however, I have a whole lot of bombs with me. With it, I can destroy every ice block I find, and doing so unfreezes the water. So now I can collect another castaway. Only 2 more to go. There's no way to progress to the other sub-levels, but at least I saved 1 castaway in this cave. There's 1 more cave in the area that I haven't tried yet, which is the Engulfed Castle. It's a cave that can only be accessed by blue Pikmin, so it should be a perfect match. All the holes to the different sub-levels are available, so that's looking good. On the second sub-level there's a castaway, and I try to save it, but unfortunately there is a giant gate in the way, and the button can only be reached by Oatchi. On the final sub-level there's a fight with a Waterwraith, but I can't even get to him because of the paper bag, which requires 100 Pikmin. Next up I head to the Blossoming Arcadia, where there's only a single castaway I haven't rescued yet, which is located at the Sideless Passage. As you can see, he is way too high up, and even yellows can't reach him. The only way to collect this guy is with a bomb from Oatchi. Next up I head to the Sunspeckled Terrace. I use a bomb boost to get on top of this ledge and I head to the industrial maze. I use a bomb to break these spots and another one to kill the yellows so I don't accidentally discover them. And now I can reach the castaway that's floating on the platform. Normally this one requires yellows. In most situations where yellows are required, momentum throws or some elevation make it possible to do it with blues. But not this guy. The platform was just too high up and I could not get a single Pikmin on top. I know that with Oatchi you can stand on these ledges and get a little bit extra height and throw Pikmins up that way. But without a jump from Oatchi I could not get on top of these ledges and there was no way for me to get this castaway. I think I tried for more than an hour, but I left in defeat. I use another bomb boost to get to the hectic hollows where there's another castaway. This one is on top of a can which has a similar height to the castaway inside this passage, so there's no way to collect this one except for a bomb from Oatchi. I just went through all the caves in the game and I still need to rescue 2 more castaways. Until now I haven't used Oatchi a single time when blues are available and I really want to keep it that way. I'm getting desperate, so I head back to the engulfed castle. Here I use a pick carrot with the Pebble pitcher to lower the gate and collect the castaway this way. I had to use the Pebble pitcher, but at least I didn't use Oatchi. Only 1 more castaway to go. While searching for another castaway, I stumble upon a Farlick that I totally forgot in the Lost Falls cavern. So I use a few bombs, one to get rid of the pots and another one to get rid of the Pikmin, and I collect it. I should have done this way earlier, but at least I got it now. Next up, I head back to the Dream House. I thought that the castaway was in the safe, because that made sense to me. So I figured that in the worst case scenario, I just had to keep guessing the code until I find the right one. There are only 1000 possible combinations for the save, so I should get it eventually. First I looked carefully through the map to see if I could collect any cards. There was a card on the other side of these mushrooms that I mentioned earlier, so I tried this. I had no idea if it would work or not, but I was really hyped when it did. Now I could push down this paper bag and collect 1 card. There was another card behind this elephant creature, and when I passed by the creature, I noticed that the treasure gauge said that there was a treasure inside him. So I decided to kill him for fun, and I used a bomb to knock him over. To my absolute surprise, a castaway came out when I killed him. So I collect him and save Tom Bergman, and with it I unlocked the final map. I did open the safe by guessing the numbers, since I was really curious to what was inside, but it turns out it was just a cake. Doesn't really matter, and now I can head to the primordial ticket. I have only 1 goal here, and that's to beat Louis in the final dandori battle, and then beat the final cave, and finish the game. I first break these spots to create a bridge to the final dandori battle. I take a quick detour to destroy these mushrooms, which I need to destroy to build a slope, which I need to do to get to the final cave, and also gives me access to the final Farlick. So now I can have 100 blue boys on the field, which is going to be very nice for the final cave. I use Oatchi to get past these flowers, since there is no other way to do this, and hop into the final dandori battle. This one has winged Pikmin, so again it's up to Oatchi. This one is actually very challenging. Louis doesn't mess around anymore. Even while slowing him down with the new dandori tactic Murder, Louis is still getting some ridiculous amount of points, and I can't rival that with Oatchi. I lose a couple of times, and one time I got really close and only lost with 1 point. I then realized the most broken dandori tactic of all, the dirty sneak bomb. The sneak bomb is very powerful, decreasing the amount of points by a very significant amount. The points are spit out by the onion in the form of these weights, that are relatively close to the base and can be collected pretty easily, so it's only a minor setback. But if you wait for the very end of the dandori battle and collect the sneak bomb, there is no time for Louis to recover the weights, so the insane loss of score is in his final result. And with this tactic I managed to win and I can finally save Nell. And by saving her, I unlock the final cave. I blow up some mushrooms and I arrive at the cavern for a king. It's actually more of a boss rush, with 20 different sub-levels. So let me show you how my 100 blue boys tear apart these bosses. The first boss is a toxic puff stool with some minions. Not an ideal matchup, but an easy kill for my blues. Next up are some different sized bullborbs, so no problem at all. 3 snack rats are easily handled by just killing them one by one. The Arctic Cannon Beetle is super annoying to get to, but when I get there, he's dead. Next up are 3 bullblaxes, but by killing them before they wake each other up, they are no problem. 2 big blowhogs are also an easy kill, since I can just charge with my 100 blue boys. This scorpion is probably the easiest boss in the whole cave. The man at legs was actually pretty difficult without Oatchi, and after some resets I figured that the best strategy was just to brute force him and accept some losses. The smoky pork is scary since he can insta-kill, so I took my time and took a few losses. I don't even know what these things are, but they die pretty quick. Next up is this guy again. I had to deal with the poison first, and he's pretty bulky, but I beat him in the end. The armored cannon beetle was no problem, after dealing with the small ones first. And finally, Baldy Longlegs, who was a bit annoying with blues since I had to send them up his leg, but he also died pretty quick. I now arrive at sub-level 16. In this sub-level there is a fight with two Waterwraiths. I need to kill both to progress to the next sub-level, and as you probably all know, the only way to kill them is by using purple Pikmin. So this is where the run would have ended. But then Vinaigre discovered this. This is absolutely insane. A huge shout out to Vinaigre for discovering a way to destroy the Waterwraiths without purples. I was planning to do a blue Pikmin only run for a while, and then I saw this video and I knew I could complete the full game, and I just had to make a video about it. So I started practicing, and after a lot of hours analyzing the video and practicing the timing, I was able to sometimes kill the Waterwraith. This trick is very difficult. I will try to explain how the skill works and share what I've learned. When something is frozen and it falls to the ground, it immediately dies. The Waterwraith can be frozen by an ice bomb for about a second, so if he falls in that time period, he dies. So to kill the Waterwraith, he just has to be frozen while in the air. He has two phases, so you have to do it twice. The first phase is pretty doable. To do this, you have to almost let him roll over Oatchi and throw an ice bomb as you walk forward. The ice bomb has upward and forward momentum when thrown by Oatchi, and hits the roller of the Waterwraith. This pushes the Waterwraith up in the air a bit. The rollers of the Waterwraith are also meant to destroy everything they touch, so the ice bomb immediately explodes after contact. This freezes the Waterwraith in the air, and if you are lucky, he falls, killing his first phase. To kill his second phase, you have to freeze him again while he's in the air. Unfortunately, without his rollers, it's currently impossible to lift him up. There is one moment however where this is possible. Just after his first phase dies, he falls backwards. If he lands on a mine, this lifts him up just a tiny bit. And if he is frozen just after he bounces, he will fall and die. This means that you need to set up a mine and accurately time an ice bomb, so in case that the first phase skill works, he hopefully immediately dies in the second phase. A pretty insane trick that requires a lot of luck and very precise execution. I practiced a lot in the Piclopedia because I can do quick resets there, but then I head back to the cavern for a king, sub-level 16. Nobody had ever killed a Waterwraith with this method before in a cave, so I wasn't 100% sure if it would even work. Resets here are also a lot slower, and every time I had to watch the Waterwraith cutscene again. It was painful, but after hours of attempts, I finally did this. I was extremely happy when I finally killed one, because now I knew 100% that it was possible to beat the game with only blues. I left the cave and re-entered. This way the other Waterwraith had to do his spawn animation again. This one was a lot further away, so everything had to be set up a lot quicker. I was streaming my attempts, and the absolute legend Vinaigre, who found this trick, was watching me, and he had the amazing idea to use ultra spicy spray to let Oatchi move quicker. This gave me a lot more time to set up, and eventually I did this.
Fuck yeah! Let's go!
Thank you, Vinaigre, for helping me, man. Finally got it. Thank you so much. After spending multiple days on the sub-level, I can finally progress to the next one. I immediately leave and re-enter with my 100 blue boys. The Emperor's Bulblax is pretty difficult without Oatchi, but with hit and run tactics I managed to kill it. The Sovereign Bulblax is very bulky, and I can't charge my blue boys at him. But after a long fight and some losses, he dies, and I can continue to the final boss fight. First few phases of the Asian Sire round are not too difficult. It's mostly environmental hazards, so by using the whistle a lot, no blues actually die, but they do all get reduced to leaves. The real challenge is the final phase, definitely since I'm not allowed to use Oatchi. The red stuff insta-kills my blues. At the start it's still doable, but as his health bar gets lower, there's going to be more red stuff on the ground, and the boss starts to move around quicker. So with a slight misstep or slow movement, my squad just dies. I was doing a pretty good job, and I got really close to finishing him off, but then I started to take heavy casualties. I just wanted to finish him off quickly, and I thought I could throw my Pikmin over the deadliest poison in the game. I saw that he was gonna shoot, so I panicked, and I ordered my Pikmin to die. With my last 22 Pikmin, I wished in for the kill before we would move again, but they were just too slow. So I did use the rewind function, and this time the red spots on the ground were positioned way better, and I managed to finish him off. And with that, I've completed the game while only using my blue boys. I rescue Louis, cure Oatchi, and watch the final cutscene. Just like the other cutscene, only blue and red Pikmin can be seen. I wish reds were not mandatory for the tutorial, because the cutscene would have been even better. This was my first ever Pikmin series, but I'm definitely gonna make more. So make sure to subscribe if you wanna see those. If there is some crazy tech that I could have used in this one, or any other challenge, make sure to let me know, because I love that shit. And if you have any good suggestions for a challenge, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching till the end, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.